Hi, I'm Niamh Cassidy, ex-social care worker turned parent educator and IBCLC. When I started out, I struggled to get clients and to gain visibility. I knew I was good at my work and that I could truly help people, but I didn't know how to get that message out or to get clients in. Marketing and selling felt icky and not what I was about, and what I did try rarely worked anyway. I bought trainings, joined memberships, worked with mentors, but it often felt like they didn't really understand what it is that we do and the importance of being ethical and authentic. So I set out on a mission to learn, experiment, and develop ways I could share my message, support my clients, make a consistent income, and feel good about it. Today, I run a successful private practice and I want to help you to do the same. Hello and welcome to the introductory episode of the Pregnancy and Postnatal Entrepreneurs Collective podcast. My name is Niamh Cassidy and I am the founder of the collective. I live in Dublin, Ireland, and I am an antenatal educator and lactation consultant. And in this episode, I want to tell you about my journey and why I've started this podcast for all of you. Prior to doing what I do now, I was a social care worker, working mainly in homeless services. I loved the work that I did and supporting the young people and families who needed me at that time. After I had my first baby, I joined a local breastfeeding group and I got so much support that I trained as a breastfeeding volunteer, which I still do today. Then, when I was considering a second pregnancy and was reflecting on my first birth experience, I became very interested in childbirth education and women's options. It was then I decided to also train as an antenatal or childbirth educator, depending on where in the world you are. While still working full-time, I started my antenatal education business. While I loved the teaching part, I found it so hard to get clients into my classes, and I started to become really disheartened. Despite this, I kept on going and tried lots of different ways of getting clients to classes. I had some success with one-to-one classes, but was still struggling to fill group classes while working full-time. Despite all of this, I knew my passion was for supporting women in the perinatal period, around birth and breastfeeding. I took a new job with reduced hours for a short contract in the aim of getting my business started. And then when that contract ended, I became self-employed. While working on building my antenatal business, I also trained as a lactation consultant, completed the exam and qualified. My private practice started during COVID-19 pandemic, so it was difficult to get set up initially, but I also found it hard for clients to find out about me and to know who I was. I was worried that there were so many lactation consultants in my area. Why would they come to me and how would they find me? I started searching for podcasts and trainings to help me with the business side of the work that I was doing. I wanted to learn how I could get my message out there so that I could find the clients that needed my help and be able to support them, but also so that I could support myself financially through making an income. I took many trainings, joined memberships, and even had mentors, but I often found that they just didn't get what it was that we were doing. They would make suggestions around things that made me feel icky or that I felt were unethical. So I would take bits and pieces and see what I felt good about and see what worked in our space. I spent the past 18 months developing this, experimenting, seeing what works, and I'm delighted to say that I now have a successful and thriving private practice that supports me and my family financially, as well as allowing me to do what I love. I'm so happy that I'm now able to make an income to support myself, but I was still struggling with the fact that so many of my peers were either leaving the work or only making enough income to cover their costs, despite the amount of effort that they were putting in. I know that people working with pregnant and postnatal families really care about what they do, and so many do really good work, but the parents and families are never going to benefit if we can't find them. People started asking me about how I did what I do, what happened, and how did I manage to build this business. So in this podcast, I aim to share what I've learned with you, so you don't have to spend as much time as I did drudging through material that may not be relevant or may not feel authentic or ethical for you. I'm hoping to be able to bring simple, actionable information steps, support, advice, and motivation so that you know that you can have a thriving business that supports you just as well as you support families. But the collective isn't just a podcast, it's a community, and we're all about working together. I promote collaboration and connection over competition. I know in my early days, I worried about the amount of other teachers out there and the amount of other lactation consultants. And how was I going to show clients that I was better than them and that they should come to me? But I've since learned that it's actually community and connection and working with my peers that has made my business grow much more successfully. By working together, we can do amazing things. Other antenatal educators and lactation consultants aren't my competition. They're my colleagues and my friends. We have a wonderful, vibrant Facebook group that's open to anyone who wants to build an ethical, authentic business supporting pregnant or postnatal families. And we'd love for you to join us if that sounds like you. There's a link to the Facebook group in the show notes. I really hope you're going to continue on this journey with me to grow your business in a way that makes you feel good. So until next time, my friends, keep doing the amazing work that you do, and I hope to find you in our Facebook community soon. Don't forget to download your totally free copy of the Birth Workers Business Playbook now, available for a limited time only, so check out the show notes to get your link and get your copy.